Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into our third part of today's episode. It's the apocalypse. Okay, I have a thing. I would like there to be a thing that happens before this reconciliation ritual.
Mm-hmm.
But that's up to you, Tynan, if there's room. Is it like they walk in the door, they hit the floor, and everybody does the dinosaur? Or is it like, welcome to the temple, take a minute, get
Well,
acclimatized, and I'll see you
there's
at
always a minute.
sundown?
Yeah,
Okay.
So is there time or no?
I would say there's time
Okay.
for things to happen.
All right.
If it's
So
between dice and Rolf Ball, then like Tynant would certainly be keeping an eye on it.
yeah, no, it's not. No.
Yeah.
Rolf Ball goes looking for somebody else. Rolf Ball goes to where do we keep the sick and infirm?
I mean, like, I imagine Nipperkin has like a little infirmary in the temple itself because we would heal him with the water. So there's like, it's small. There's maybe like 2 beds in
Yeah.
there. And it's like his like office essentially.
Okay.
He probably sleeps there too, but
Sure. Nipperkin's not around right now. Nipperkin is I don't know, helping somebody give birth or something. Like
Yeah,
they're
that's what they do.
Nipperkin does like the rounds and is away. And I don't think there's anybody in the temple like that's like real sick right now. I think health is like a kind of normative state for most people around here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, Brace, you are alone. You're hooked up to some like IVs or whatever, and you hear. And remember, you're kind of gooned out like right
Yeah.
now. You're not like dealing with your hunger and thirst anymore, but you are still like kind of semi narco stabbed. So you're all of this is happening through like kind of a haze, but you hear boots, like booted footsteps, and the kind of jingling of armor buckles, and you hear the awful like squeak of a chair being like pulled across an uneven like formerly linoleum floor, and there's a heavy kind of like sound as somebody sits down in the chair next to your bed.
And I like roll my head slowly over, like, look who it is.
All right, you've seen Rolf Ball before? You know what Rolf
I
Ball
mean, I
looks
watch
like.
people. That's what I do. So I would have seen him probably. Yes.
Okay, but have you ever had an interaction with Rolf Ball?
I don't think so. I don't think I would like seek him out. No.
Okay, so you turn your head and Rolf Ball sort of fades into like focus, comes into focus, and he's kind of like leaned back in the chair, and he reaches into his. I guess he's got like a jacket over this like armor he's wearing. He reaches into his inside pocket and opens the pack of cigarettes and knocks one into his hand. Takes out a Zippo, and he flicks it a couple times, lights it, and the Zippo says like I don't know, it's like real old, and it probably has like an eagle or something etched into the side of it with something written underneath. We can't see it. His hand is over it, and he takes a long drag of the cigarette and sort of blows the smoke over you, not at you, but like over you, and he looks at you, and just doesn't say anything. He just kind of like rubs his stubbly face and kind of just stares at you for a moment. What do you do?
I mean, she's like, I feel like everything's like slow. I don't know. I haven't been on like narcotics or whatever.
Yeah, like narco stabs are just like meant to keep you sedate. It's like part painkiller, so you can't feel like all of the like fucked up like lung and stomach and like esophageal trauma that you suffered.
Okay.
So it keeps everything feels a little fuzzy and kind of soft.
'Cause it's like a bit of a sedative as well.
Yeah, your extremities are like a little bit itchy, but you don't really like notice or mind. And everything just seems kind of like a little far away.
Okay. I feel like Grace is totally fine with just like waiting. She's not gonna like try and like she's probably like had her glove taken off I'm assuming
Yeah.
that Nipperkin wouldn't like allow her to wear a violation glove while
Well,
he's.
I mean, Nipperkin doesn't know what it is. Most people don't.
Oh, okay. Like,
Ferris would. Ferris would recognize I know what it is. Ferris is like very much aware of its purpose and use, but most people don't.
like don't. So like he's just like, if he's not gonna, if he like, I just like.
Honestly, Nipperkin sedated you as much to protect himself from you as vice versa. But I guess if you at some point would like to like retcon that you puppet stringed him, he was all up in your like there was intimacy and physical contact. So
I feel like even like out of it, Brace would be like, "Oh hey." Like,
well, and that speaks to like whether or not this is an unconscious thing. But remember that that's something that you could do if later you're like, oh, I definitely have strings on Nipperkin.
all right. Well, I feel like she looks over, he doesn't say anything, he just like starts smoking a cigarette, and she's like they just like wait in silence for a second, and if he doesn't say anything, then she might just be like, Rolf ball.
And he nods. He's like, uh-huh.
And she's just like looks around and like looks back at him, and like she doesn't know why he's here, but she's not the type of person to ask, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to read him if you want, if you're like
Yeah, I guess,
struggling
like,
to be like, what's going on?
Yeah, she would try and be like, the fuck.
Okay, yeah, you can try to read Rolf Ball.
Okay, so that would be plus sharp. Do I have any substitutions for that? When you read someone, roll plus weird. Okay.
So you have that move, you took it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I'm so fucked up right now.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ask one anyway, but be prepared for the worst.
Yeah, you get to ask one and I get to make a move, but go ahead and ask. What would you like to know?
I feel like
About old Rolf Copter here.
Brace wants to know what he's intending to do. Yeah.
He's here to make you an offer. He has something that he thinks that you want. And he wants to trade you for it.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of evident by the fact that he like seeked me out.
Sought.
There we go.
Yep.
Sought me out. I was like, that's not the right word. So like if she's like, he's here to like give me something.
I mean, no, he's not here to give you something. He's here to make an offer. He's here to make a deal with you.
He's here to give me something.
Yeah, I love that you're so in your character that you can't even hear what I'm saying to you,
Yes.
except becoming like, no, you're here to worship me because I'm great, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Okay. So he wants me to do something for him in exchange for something that he thinks
You get all you know is that he is here to. Yeah, to get something from you, and he's like really eyeballing you and he's looking at you in the way that someone might look at like a well-bred horse or like a nice car, or like there's a desire in his eyes, but you also pick up that he thinks he already owns you, but he looks at a lot of things in people like this where he's just like, all I gotta do is just like let the pieces fall where they're gonna fall, and you're mine already. Like, so he's just looking at you like he's kind of like taking stock of his property.
Okay. Yeah. Brace doesn't like the thought of belonging to someone that's not Brace, or like I feel like she would be like kind of like I don't know. I don't know what she would do here. Like, I don't know if she's like up and awake enough to try and like manipulate him. Or like how she would manipulate him.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any. I mean, you have some stuff to offer, but so I think, yeah, like he's just like eyeballing you, and eventually, like he finishes his cigarette and he like puts it out on the little table next to you.
Mm-hmm.
He takes out another one, and he lights it, and he kind of leans in, and he's like, this is a rough situation. You look like trash. I mean, not that you don't usually, but you look worse than usual. The fuck you doing up here?
And like she looks around, like trying, like remembering again, like where she is, and she's like, she does not. She literally forgot
Yeah.
that she was here to check on Melody. And so she's just like, why are you here?
Why is Rolf Ball anywhere? I got business, baby. But before all that, I figured I'd stop by. I heard things were going rough for you up here.
You don't care about me.
He laughs. He's like, of course I don't. This isn't about that. Care. No. No, I got an offer for you. You can do better than this shit. Rolf Ball better.
And Brace, like, kind of like, I guess she would probably like attempt to like shift like up into a like we're conversing kind of thing, and then just be like, oh, whatever, and like lay back again.
Yeah.
And like she just like looks at him and just like raises her eyebrows, like, yeah.
So so he's like he's like, you can leave this dump behind, come back to Templetown, do some work for me. I'll take care of you.
I don't work.
He laughs. It's like, everybody works. Besides, I got the kind of work you're gonna enjoy. None of this fucking farm bullshit.
And she like, I feel like she would oh shit, I can read him more deeply than normal if I have yeah. I feel like I want to, like, she's looking at him and he's giving her a bunch of bullshit and like not actually telling her anything, and she's in a situation where she is like absolutely like not comfortable, like she's not in control of her like situation, right, in her mind. So I feel like she's gonna deep brain scan him.
Okay. What do you need to deep brain scan someone though?
When you have time and physical intimacy, or
he's not touching you.
Or one-sided intimacy. Like, I mean, if is it one-sided intimacy?
This is not an intimate conversation. No. He's
so I would have to touch him to be able to get the intimacy.
And not just like touch, but like.
No, I mean the glove. It counts as time and intimacy.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to. I guess you'd have to try to touch him, but he's sitting. He's sitting far enough away that you can't just reach over and touch him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was okay. And I read him, and I got shit.
Yeah.
So Brace Tynan wants to use her for something. Would that have been something like she probably heard the whole conversation with Nipperkin, right?
No, you've been unconscious for a while.
I've been unconscious.
Yeah.
So I'm not aware of like Tynan wants to like use me for something. Like he thinks I can be this help to him or whatever. Okay. Brace she would probably try and like keep her avenues open, as it were. Like, so I guess she would like turn and look at him and be like try and like pull herself together, as it were, and then she'd be like, I can't help anyone until I'm out of here.
Yeah, and I think while you're saying that, he's like put out the second cigarette out on top of the first. There's a little pile of like cigarette butts, and he's reaching into his jacket and he takes out a little, like, it looks kind of like a cigarette case, but it's longer, and he like pops it open, and inside there's a little glass bottle and like a hypodermic needle, and he's like, Yeah, I can help you with that. And he looks at you like, if you want to get better fast, you know.
Fucking shit, he's gonna drug me if I want to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've got an IV in already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like Brace, if she hasn't already had the drugs like from Rothball.
No, I mean, you don't know that that's what this is either. It just
Okay,
has a syringe with some stuff.
she's down,
Okay.
probably. Yeah, she would just be like,
So,
lay back and close her eyes.
yeah, the offer here is like, yeah, I'm gonna help you out, get you out of this place quick, and then you're gonna come to town and like, we're gonna have a conversation about you doing some work for me. That's the exchange here. That's the strings that are attached.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
She literally like sees him pull that thing out, and then she like takes a like lets a deep breath out, lays back on the table, and closes her eyes.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So he pulls the flute into the needle, taps it a couple times, puts it into the IV, the little like plug thing, squeezes the needle, and you go somewhere away. You go away to a place that's warm and soft and feels great, and you never want to leave.
All right.
Yeah, we just see you kind of like your eyes like flutter under your eyelids. But yeah, you get fucked up.
You know what's worse than a brainer who's lazy? A brainer addicted to heroin who's lazy.
Uh-huh.
Oh god, this character. All right.
Yeah, it feels real good. Yeah, I think he gets up and he leaves, and he's like whistling to himself.
Of course, because he just got what he wanted.
I mean, he's working his angles. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So let's cut to the ceremony.
Great.
So just describe the scene to us, Tyne and Swift.
So it's happening like in front of the well, the source, and like the community is kind of gathered around because it's like a circular space, and our two parties are there with their gifts in front of them.
Yeah. So Rolf Ball has his case, his like hardened case. What did you bring?
I brought like a glass, like a vase with like a cork or something in it, full of that like orange like sunset drink that I not sunset the person, but sunset the drink that I
right.
The like rotten oranges drink.
The 100-year-old irradiated Sunny D.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah,
better than that purple
exactly.
stuff. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Cola? No way. This is some back of the fridge business. Okay, so yeah, so the two of you have your peace offerings, and what's the process here? Do they exchange the offerings first?
I'm sort of looking to Tynan for like direction on what he wants here.
I think so. The ceremony involves
want.
like the two of them drinking from the same like vessel that I fill with the water from the thing. So there's this like little stone bowl in between them that they each have to like in turn drink from twice or whatever.
Yep.
And then they like exchange the gifts, and there's some like words that they're supposed to say, that are like formal words, and then they're also supposed to just like in their own words say what they are going to do to like amend their circumstances together. And yeah, so that's how the ritual goes down. And
Okay.
like for the like ritual words,
So
like
the ritual, the thing is that your move calls them here, but it doesn't like fix anything, right? Like it doesn't.
they have to offer up how they are going to fix it.
Right. Okay. So then that's the part they have this conversation.
And like part of it is like framed in this formal thing, but then it like turns into just a conversation between the two of them, but it's in front of the whole community.
Yeah, the community that neither of them belong to. Yeah. No, totally. Okay. All right. So Rolf Ball graciously goes first. He says to you, Dice, he's like, Yeah, you know, I've been feeling bad since we had that conversation the other day. I know it's not easy to be a business owner in this town sometimes. And I just wanted to offer you something to, get you started again. Your man Bean came by, said you'd run low, and he puts the case on, like, I don't know, maybe there's like a table or like something nearby. He
There's
puts
like
it,
like a low table between them.
puts it down, spins it on the table. It makes this like hiss as the plastic scrapes against the table. And he pops the thing and he opens it. And inside, there are a bunch of like basically bricks of some kind of like grayish like powder. Um, and it's enough to keep the two things, I guess. One, it's enough to keep the place going for the next little while, right? You won't have to deal with Rolf Ball again for a bit. But two, it's different. It's not the usual stuff. It's some other thing.
Okay. So I see the case sort of open and I see, yeah, that it's different, and I go, it doesn't look like what we usually agree to. What's this stuff?
He smiles, and he says, "Oh, this is the new shit. You don't want that old shit anymore."
All right, all right. I just put down the the vase full of prison orange drink.
Very fair trade, that.
It's what I got.
It's anything.
I got fucking nothing.
The
And
thing, I think the gift here, the peace offering is, and I love that you, it's so funny because this scene is taking place in like Tynant, like Andrew's fictional construct. I almost feel like there's been this like unstated authority shift where I'm like, I'm just gonna play Rolf Ball, and like I keep waiting for Andrew for you to like step in and tell me what happens. I'm like, no, that's my job. So Rolf Ball, yeah, I think what's happening here is that by bringing this like low grade gift or whatever, the real gift is as far as Rolf Ball sees it, is you being like, I'm not as good as you. I don't have as good shit as you.
Well,
You're
because
Rolf
it's
Ball.
public, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're Rolf
So, like,
Ball.
everyone
You're the
sees
man.
So I slide that over and I'm like, enjoy.
Yeah.
And then I look to Tynant, sort of like, what the fuck now? Like, I get what I want out of this, basically.
And so yeah, there's like a closing portion to the ceremony where Tynant talks about like how these two parties, having reconciled their differences in, before the spirits and us, can now leave with their heads held high and untroubled by this petty and temporal feud that they have
See,
liberated.
I'm a little bit interested, Tynant, in why you give a shit and why we were brought here to do this whole thing. Not that I'm saying it's a bad thing. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is what I want. I say, like, sort of gesturing to Rolf Ball's gift. But I'm interested to know exactly what your stake is.
Though we are at some remove from the town proper, we are all still invested in its peace and well-being. And we are all of us able to look beyond our little borders, our piece that we have carved out, and to see the larger whole that is impacted by everything that we do and that impacts us in turn.
That's actually really interesting to me, because I never thought you'd be the kind of person to make peace with this scumbag. No offense, I say, like, not looking at Rolf Ball.
Rolf Ball's very hurt.
His feelings, his delicate little feelings.
Yeah. There's a quiet sobbing in the background.
I don't know. He seems like anathema to most of what you're, you talk about.
Yes, well, people change, don't they?
Yeah, but, not that much.
And it's clear that I'm like talking about you to you, not.
Oh
about
yeah,
them, right?
no, I know, and it's clear that I'm talking about me to you.
Yeah.
Great.
People change. Yeah, not as much as you think, motherfucker.
Yeah, and so Tynan just says like, it's not always a matter of self-interest with me and mine here at the temple. Is the main point that we are willing to look beyond our immediate needs and think of the community at large. So it's about more than you and more than Rolf Ball. It's about the collective.
All right, sure. You know, stick your nose in wherever you like, I guess. I'm doing just fine, and didn't really have any. It was a business disagreement, Rolf Ball, right? Business disagreement, not really like serious personal issues or anything. I was never gonna, you know.
Rolf Ball casts you a sidelong look, and despite what he's about to say, he's saying it in support of your point, right? And he's like, "Shit, bitch, everything's business." And then looks at Tynant like, "How do you not know this, dummy?"
Yeah.
Hello. Yep,
Oh, hi. Hello.
I've been here the whole time too.
Yeah. I was about to ask, like, what's going on, Ferris? What's going on with you? You've been able to observe this whole thing.
I don't see that all reparations have been made in this situation, obviously.
There's still an injured party. So is this the point at which you make your your presence known?
Yep. Miss Tynan, I think while we're doing the thing, is it okay? Because I had some very lovely eggs, and Rolf Bull broke them, and I'm given to understand the fact that they're not really particularly valuable, even though they're quite rare, because I've never seen the animal that they came from before, and I didn't even know they existed before this happened. But and everybody else is making nice and getting things back, and I keep having to fix things for everybody, and nobody's giving me any money for it.
Yes. Well, I cannot make them pay you. Nor if you have a personal dispute with Rolf Ball, I suggest you speak to him about it directly. If you have an issue that endangers the community, maybe I will get involved and you can speak to me about that. But this moment has been settled and is done.
Poor Ferris.
I have some work for you for which there will be remuneration, and I can be depended on to follow through with that. So if you would like that kind of work, then you and I have business that we may carry on with.
Okay, yeah, we can totally do that. Let's you have the rules, yeah, the laws that go on around here. I mean,
Yes.
it seems like a really reasonable place to do business for the most part. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Bull?
Mr. Bull, he looks over at you like, "Oh, you're still talking," and obviously didn't hear anything but his own name partway in that sentence.
I believe also that you do owe me an thing.
He
I think it was
looks,
like 4 eggs.
he looks at you and he's like, "I don't know you shit." And if we're done, and he looks at you, Tynan, he's like, "I got work to do."
Well, yes, the ceremony is done.
All right then. And he like turns and starts to walk off.
Hey, no, hold on. No, you do owe me a thing. I don't know what it is that you think you're trying to establish by being more aloofer than everybody else. I'm useful. I've been here this whole time. I was waiting my turn to do talking.
Yeah, he's just straight up ignoring you and walking away. And everybody is like watching him treat you like garbage.
By the way, I sort of smile and do like one of these at Tynant and follow Rolf Ball. I have things.
Oh my god, you and Rolf Ball are like best friends now.
Yeah. I pick up my hard case of drugs.
I'll just take these. Yeah, so Ferris.
Did Rolf Ball leave the orange drink?
Yes,
Like-
he didn't even take it. He was just like,
Fuck.
yeah, it's just sitting on the table. Like he's like, yeah, it's the symbol. He gets it. But yeah, he's just like he's leaving, and now Dice is leaving, and Tynant kind of was like, this isn't really like a problem that I care about.
And so I think as a way to like reconcile Ferris, I like pick up the bottle of alcohol and I'm like, maybe this is adequate compensation for the eggs. And I'm like question mark? Like,
I mean, at a very basic like level, yeah, you could definitely like take these to Lamprey, and you could take it to Lamprey and trade it for more eggs.
I'm very confused, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I think there are going to be clues in the context that are going to allow me to work out what's going to happen here.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to read this charged situation.
Yeah, so like we've seen with Ferris many times, you're like, okay, I have no idea what to do next. Let's just think this out logically. So you take a minute as the like bottle's being offered to you, and yeah, okay, I love it.
yeah, like the gears have started turning as Tynant is like awkward. There's an awkward pause. I go to grab this thing. You're still like thinking about it.
Yep. That's the jukebox. That's not my character sheet.
Music begins to play.
That's fine. All right, I'm gonna read this situation.
Okay. What would you like to know?
I want to know which enemy is most vulnerable to me. We have time to go.
So you want to know which enemy is most vulnerable to you?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk about your enemies first. Who is if we made that list of the people in this room, who would be on the list?
Nobody is helping me right now.
So everybody is your enemy.
Ignoring me and belittling me. So everybody.
Okay. And in what ways are people generally vulnerable to you? Like, we know how people can become vulnerable to like Dice, right? Like with the shooting and the stabbing and the punching, and Tynant by the way of the authority and the manipulation and the social bullshit. And Brace will fuck with your brain, but in what ways are people vulnerable to Ferris? And then I'll tell you who's the most of those. But like, what way do people become vulnerable to you?
I think what Ferris is really good at is figuring people out and not necessarily manipulating them, but finding those particular weaknesses for other people to manipulate as well. But yeah, you become vulnerable to me by being worked out, by being
transparent,
systemically analyzed.
Sure. So who's most vulnerable to that?
Yep.
I mean, I think we can narrow it down to Tynant, Dice, or Rolf Ball. Rolf Ball has a lot going on that exists outside of him. So I think that in this moment he's not the most vulnerable.
It's probably
to you.
me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you kind of came out of this like lower than you were before, right?
And the thing is, I'm gonna fix that. Because I feel disrespected, but I'm not gonna shoot people in this temple again. It didn't go well for me last time. So if you were observing the situation, and I guess you are, Ferris, you would notice that the walk that I have going on while I follow Rolf Ball out is like the walk you saw before I slammed Fam's head into the table.
Poor Fam.
Right? Yeah, no, okay. That makes a lot of sense, it to be dice, I see. All right, well, I suppose dice. And I like turn over. I'm like, then I think we have business. I gave you something to do the trading with, and then he took it and he broke it, and he never gave me anything back.
You're walking away, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this moment, as you start talking to me, and you're like, you didn't give me anything. Like, kind of as I'm passing you, I don't stop, but I do open the case and take out one of the bricks of gray stuff and just throw it at him.
Have a brick of drugs. Fuck you. Okay. All right.
Because I've got my eyes on the back of Rolf Ball's head, basically.
So you're just like, have some drugs. Get out of my way. I have things to do.
I'm
Basically.
fucking busy.
So what do you do, Ferris?
Like I pick this up. I'm like, if Tynant's still there, like holding the bottle, I'm like, I'm given to understand that this is probably a drugs.
I can only imagine so, although new ones.
I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. It can speak to you if you're curious about its actual nature.
Oh my god, I totally can.
Yeah. Ask the drugs what they're about.
Yeah, you would know better than me.
Talk to the drugs. Whoa, shit. Ferris speaks drugs. You speak the language of the drugs.
Ask
The drug whisperer.
Just ask the drugs. Exactly. Enter the drugosphere. Put on your drugonaut helmet. All right, what would you like to ask the drugs? Hello, Mr. Heroin.
Is this Blue Jay's turn to have a laugh attack?
You're the crack whisperer. All right, yeah. What would you like to know?
Alright. What strong emotions have been most recently by this?
Greed.
Okay.
Not to mention a brief flash of annoyance.
Yeah, but greed. Like powerful greed.
Alright. What has been done most recently with this or to this?
It was made. This is new. It came straight from the manufactory under the tenement building. It was packed up, sealed away, and brought right here from the process where it was made.
Okay. What's wrong with this and how might I fix it?
What's wrong with drugs, and how might you fix them? So I
think
mean,
this can go a bunch of ways.
gosh.
I'm not sure what.
Okay, so here's the thing that's like, it's hard because what's wrong with it is it's drugs. Like,
Did Ferris just become Heisenberg? Like the purity of these drugs can be improved. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the thing. There are several things about it. Like, I guess you tell me, like, your insight. Is it inherently like it's a dangerous recreational drug? Its only purpose is to like fuck up your brain and like knock you out for a while and make you feel good, but it does like damage you. It's highly addictive and it will damage you and you can overdose on it. It's like it's a drug. It's bad in that way. But do you also look at it as like it is a chemical compound with an intended purpose that could be improved? Because that opens up an opportunity for you and Rolf Ball to have a very special relationship. If your next conversation is like, I've looked at your drugs, I can make them better.
We're assuming I don't shoot Rolf Ball in the back of the head in like half an hour.
Listen, you've been rolling abysmally, and I have no fear that my
It's
NPCs will live for as long as I need
true.
them to.
Yeah, so which way is this gonna go?
Yeah, what's your opinion on the drugs, Ferris?
I think it's way more interesting if I can, if I could make them better.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
like this is
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rolf
Way more
Ball
fucked up with this thing.
and his people have like a pretty decent working understanding of chemistry, but not like you do. Not at all like you do. You can make these
Oh,
drugs
no.
into you can make these drugs into super drugs. You could use less stuff that they put in this to make better shit that would be like more effective. Like, yeah, you just like immediately think of lots of ways that you could like definitely improve on the this thing right down to the molecular structure.
You could run Rolf Ball out of business.
Awesome,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you had the resources that he does. You don't. Like, that would be a project. If you're like, I go home and I start building a drug lab, I would be like, you need this, you need this and this and this. But yeah, you have something to offer Rolf Ball now, something like very valuable for sure.
Okay. All right.
He speaks to the drugs, and the drugs.
Here's a completely unsolicited question for Ferris. Are you the kind of motherfucker that's just like, oh, you broke my eggs? I will undo everything. Are you just gonna like infiltrate his organization and then tear it down from the inside? Like, is that something that would occur to you? Because you have the perfect in. You could immediately become completely essential to his organization, as well as be perfectly positioned to completely unravel it.
I mean, it's,
Alternately, you can tell I have the biggest hate on ever for this person, and maybe I
mean-
won't be the PC on the opposite side of the fence for once.
Anyway, the point is you have some leverage over Rolf Ball. You understand his product better than he does. And that's
you can
very
decide how you
very
choose to
big.
later
Yeah.
Also, it's not a decision you have to make at the moment.
Yeah, I just advanced. I think the advancement is gonna make this decision for me, but I'll think about it for now.
Okay.
I think that's really cool.
Cool.
I'm very happy. With this
All right,
situation.
good. Way to talk. Way to speak to the drugs.
God damn
So
it.
that's-
That's
question
rating
for
was
you.
too. I got
Yeah.
15. Holy shit, that's as high as you can roll in this game.
Would you say that I led a group in true ceremony just now?
Absolutely, you did. Yes.
Cool.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
On
my!
a miss, the world's psychic maelstrom interferes. Open my brain instead.
Oh, perfect. All right.
So, as this all is wrapping up, I open my brain because I have to,
Yep.
which means I roll the dice.
Yeah. Hit it.
All right.
Nice. All right.
So I'm all like, yeah, I'm
What's-
gonna use this.
What's
like,
the name?
ritual
What's the
stuff.
name of your move that lets you roll cool instead?
It's Weather Eye.
Weather Eye. That's right. Yeah. And that's
I'm taking it to be Water Eye.
right. Okay. So I think you've observed all of this. The ritual, you performed the ritual, you watched all these things happen, you saw Ferris have this moment where seemingly like it didn't go very well. And then yeah, folks want to see those rolls. There you go. And then I think you notice like we see you like reach up and you notice that you've got like tears like running down your face. And when you open your brain to the maelstrom it's about the ritual and its effects, right? I think you see you catch a glimpse of maybe what Deerfield saw. You see violence, right? You see a corruption of the laws of this place. You see the ghosts becoming like thirsty for the living, like for blood. You see the temple. I'm very much imagining a kind of like Paul Atreides like envisioning the galactic jihad moment, right? Where like the temple becomes twisted to a dark purpose as the result of something that starts now, right? This is the fork in the road that could lead to the temple becoming something that it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have this like troubling vision, and I'm probably gonna go to Brace's bedside and just like hold her hand and think about stuff.
Okay. All right.
Would you notice that she's like way more out of it than she should be?
I mean, she's sleeping.
Last I saw you, you were unconscious. so
Yeah,
I'm just-
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
She's sleeping peacefully.
So that's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's find out where let's find out where Dice is headed. So Ralph Ball got a ride up here. He's got a handful of people that have vehicles and shit. So there's like a Jeep waiting for him just outside the temple. And Yeah, and so he's headed that way.
So I try and catch up with him.
Okay.
And like outside the gate, you know, sort of like talk to him. Be like,
Yeah, so you're out in the open. You're next to like maybe like one of those like hydroponic like pop-up buildings where they're growing some kind of like plant life. You can see the green through the frosted glass of the building, and you can see people moving around inside. And so you're out in the open. It's cold. It's overcast. It's not raining right now. And there isn't anybody in the immediate vicinity, but we can see in the background like people moving in sort of human shape. So there are people like around, but not near to you.
so I catch up to him and I'm like, so what the fuck kind of shit you got going on at Sunsets?
And he stops, and he turns around and he's like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that." No, that's not me. Sunset's doing her own thing. Her and Bill have some kind of arrangement.
I'm gonna read him.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're coming into this conversation real uncertain.
And that's read. So the questions are read a person. Is he telling the truth?
Yeah. He doesn't have anything to do with what's going on at Sunsets.
Huh.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm surprised Bill hasn't come talk to you about it yet. He's putting some people together.
What's he feeling right now?
Smug. Because he knows why Bill hasn't come to talk to you. And he's like, you're not worth talking to. You're trash. Ha! Like, he's just like, he's rubbing it in. He's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know why he isn't.
Wish I would do.
He wishes you would treat him with the respect he so obviously deserves. And he knows that's eventually going to happen. But like, yeah, he wishes you would realize how shitty you are and how awesome he is and how that's the way things are supposed to be. And stop making things difficult for both of you.
What I'm reading into this is he has said he has nothing to do with it, but Bill knows about it. Yeah. And, oh, Bill didn't come to talk to you? Oh, that's such a shame, you know, basically. And he's a smug bastard. I shoot him in the face.
Like just right here in
I just pull a magnum outside the gate and I shoot him.
Okay, I mean, you're still technically inside the temple. Yeah, he hasn't left yet.
I was waiting for outside the temple.
Yeah, there's no rule for killing people.
There is no rule for killing people. It's true.
Then I do it there.
Are you gonna try to kill Rolf Ball? All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill Rolf Ball. Fuck Rolf Ball.
All right.
This motherfucker, we're gonna deal with the fallout of me breaking laws and killing important people. But this guy has made me angry.
Okay, so he's you're not succering him because he's...
No, I'm just going aggro.
Yeah, he's ready. And what you want is for him to be shot in the face and die.
Yeah. It's 3 damage, close, messy, loud.
Yeah, he's wearing armor. He's got like pretty heavy armor on. But if you roll well...
If you roll well.
Yeah, let's see here. So let's talk about the rolls. So you go aggro, make clear what you want them to do, which is to say die. On a 10+, he has to... take the harm or die.
All right, well, let's find
on a 7 to 9, he's got some other options.
Let's find out if I can actually roll anything today. And 7.
All right. So on a 7, I gotta choose to get the hell out of the way, barricade himself securely in, back off calmly. No, he makes a run for it. So you pull the gun. He like brings his arms up to protect himself and like elbows your arm a bit out of the way. You fire. You probably like deafen him in one ear, right? You fire the gun beside his head. He shoves you and then runs. Like he runs for the Jeep.
Can I shoot after him? Like, you piece of shit!
So here's the other thing. So he gets to barricade himself securely in. So he gets to the Jeep, like he shoves you. You turn around to take the shot, and maybe you get shot at by his guard, right? Like, because he brought a dude in the passenger seat and a driver. So the guy has gotten out and is like firing some like covering fire at you. So you don't immediately get another shot.
I have to like jump out the way.
Yeah, you have to be like, fuck, as this guy's like AK just like goes off and like fires a line of shots. Tynant, Brace, and Ferris, you all hear one really loud shot and then a bunch of slightly less loud shots. And then Rolf Ball, gets into his like armored Jeep, and they're gonna peel off. They're gonna take off.
Oh, mother! Motherfucker.
But you have an opportunity to do something. What are you gonna do? Like you've got your gun. There's the Jeep. Like you could just take a shot at the Jeep, but he's in it, and you probably can't like kill him through the window.
Can I open myself to the psychic maelstrom?
I mean, the maelstrom will just tell you things. It won't.
The maelstrom could suck my dick then. Let's see. What can I do? Maelstrom can say. That's a very Dice thing to say.
Yeah, I agree, but it's hilarious.
What? I mean, what can I do after him? Is there any other vehicle like nearby?
So, I mean, how did you get here?
I mean, I don't have. I have a bike, so I guess I might have taken that.
Oh, you got to keep your bike. Jeanette didn't take it from you.
No, I've never mentioned having it before, so I probably don't have it. Actually.
Yeah, like I feel like when you got kicked out of the gang, Jeanette would be like that'd be the symbol, right? Jeanette would be like, this bike is my bike now. So is the
only
gang my
vehicle I
gang.
can imagine being in this area that isn't belonging to Rolf Ball would be Ferris's truck.
It's my truck.
And we can go to the road moves. We can have that happen. We can Mad Max this shit on the like narrow mountain road that leads down to the town. If you want to get on that, we got moves for that
All
shit.
right, yeah. I see Ferris's truck right there, and I'm like, shit! Like, go and try and take it and fucking
Road
try-
war and vehicle moves.
Oh god.
How does
Okay.
Ferris's truck start? What's Ferris's truck like?
Yeah.
Does it, if
Ferris-
it works like your door, then she's not gonna be able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main modification that it has is it has a robotic hand that I can control in the bed of the truck.
Yeah, that's right. It has your little crane or whatever.
But yeah, most of it's
So does it open, like, does it have an ignition like a normal vehicle, or?
yeah. I mean, I probably left the keys in it. I don't expect to
Didn't
get
expect
stolen
Dice to
from.
jack your truck. All right. Okay. All right. Let's.
Yeah, I'm totally willing for you to. Yeah. Just
All right,
do
let's-
it.
All right, let's do it.
Well,
let's see
let's
if I
create-
can catch up to fucking.
Let's create your vehicle here first of all. So, its frame is a pickup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So its massive is 2. You can write these down on your sheet in case the vehicle survives, because these stats will be true. Oh my god, too fast, too Ferris.
The puns are
It's so good.
yeah.
Okay. So what am I writing down? The body is.
It has its frame is a pickup, which gives it massive 2 and 2 battle options.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you get to choose 1 or 2 strengths for it. So fast, rugged, aggressive, tight, huge, off-road, responsive, uncomplaining, capacious, workhorse, or easily repaired. Capacious means it has lots of space to store stuff and carry things.
I mean, workhorse seems like a thing that Ferris needs it to do, right?
Yeah, it does.
And like uncomplaining also struck me as being something he might want in his vehicle.
Yeah, I think it is an uncomplaining workhorse.
Okay. Let's write that down. Uncomplaining.
This is the hour in which I die, just so you know.
It's very hard to die.
The
Okay.
truck can be repaired.
Now you get to pick 1 or 2 looks. Sleek, vintage, pristine, powerful, luxe, flashy, muscular, quirky, pretty, handcrafted, spikes and plates, garish, cobbled together, or hard worked. And you get 1 or 2.
It's quirky and cobbled together.
Okay. Quirky and cobbled together. All right. And then you get, you have to pick 1 or 2 weaknesses. Is it slow, loud, lazy, sloppy, cramped, picky, a guzzler, unreliable, rabbity, or temperamental?
I think it's probably. Gosh, I think it's sloppy.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems like because it's got this big weight in the back, right? Like it would.
Yeah, like it probably handles really badly.
Perfect.
Great vehicle for a chase.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so it's sloppy, and then it gets 2 battle options. It starts at 0 speed, 0 handling, and 0 armor. Does it have +1 speed, +1 handling, +1 massive, or +1 armor? Or you can double up if you want to.
I think it has massive and armor. Right?
Okay. So massive,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have handling with what you've described.
massive 3, armor 1, speed 0, and handling 0. Okay.
I mean, they're both going to be tanky.
All right, everybody.
So-
this is my chance.
So let me just figure out Rolf Ball's Jeep.
You break if you need to do some prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we might as well break now. Yeah, that's a good call. We'll break now and then we'll do Road War when we get back. I'll figure out Rolf Ball's Jeep in the interim.
I really want to. I'm gonna jump onto it if I can
God.
catch it.
You're gonna try to board a moving vehicle.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
board it.
Okay, well, this is either going to be Dice's big heroic fucking Mr. Sicarian versus the Pirates moment, or you're going to be a smear on the side of the road.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
One or the other.
You know, you're not a chopper. You're not a combat class.
This is what happens when people don't pay their bill at the restaurant.
Excuse me. I have 2+ hard.
All right, stick around. We'll see whether it's victory or smear when we return. God save us.